Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome all of our club members and guests and the candidates tonight for our endorsement meeting. This is one of our special meetings that we have during election years, and it's one of our main focuses and main purposes to hear and endorse candidates. And in this case, we have candidates for the school board and candidates for the city council. You should have on your chair or next to you an agenda, and on that agenda you'll see that we have time allocated first to the school board, and the members are up here, the candidates are up here, and then we're going to do city council. We're going to start with the introduction, which is where we are now, can be followed by a short discussion on House Bill 194 by Jane Buter Shapiro, and then we'll start to the endorsement process for the school board candidates. Now, there's a lot going on tonight. There's a big event at Shaker Schools, so these members, these candidates, are probably going to leave shortly after their presentations and their questions and answers and attend that. We may be getting people coming into the club having attended that meeting. Also, the president is speaking tonight, and last but not least, the Packers are playing a football game tonight. So we've got a lot of challenges, but by the turnout tonight, it's clear to all of us what we consider to be an important event for our club, and it's well attended. We do have on the ballot in November 2 other races, and for those of you who are members who are fully paid, timely fully paid, you will see on your ballot, which we hope you will fill out after the endorsement process. You'll see that 2 races are unopposed. One is Mayor Earl Lycan, who is here tonight, and Judge K.J. Montgomery, who I don't believe is here tonight. They are unopposed. So we're not going to have the traditional endorsement process because the mayor's going to win by voting for himself, plus all of the thousands that are going to be voting for those 2 good candidates. But I would like to offer the mayor a limited amount of time, and we've agreed to 90 seconds so that he can talk. This was negotiated, and the mayor lost, I think. But the mayor's going to talk for 90 seconds, and then we're going to go forward.
90 seconds is fine. Thank you, Michael, and thanks to the club for putting this event together. I asked my wife if she thought the fact that I was unopposed indicated the community's support and confidence in me, and she said no, she just thought that in these tough times no one else wanted the job. But actually the times are really the best of times and the worst of times for Shaker Heights. They're the best of times because we've managed to maintain high quality city services and schools despite the economic downturn. Many young families are moving in. Shaker was the only community in the county, based on a Plain Dealer survey, that actually saw an uptick in real estate prices in the first 6 months of 2011 as compared to the first 6 months of 2007 before the real estate crash. We're all excited about our upcoming centennial next year, and we finished last year in very good financial shape despite the downturn, with a surplus and a AAA bond rating, which is actually better now than that of the United States of America. It's the worst of times because we've had to deal with a Tea Party government in Columbus, and despite an enormous effort, we had 10% of our revenue taken away from us with the repeal of the estate tax and other state support. Shaker will come through this, I'm confident, in good shape. We will meet the challenges, and I very much look forward to serving and working with the council and school board members who are elected. Thank you, Michael.
And he does within 90 seconds. Just a good mayor all the way around. It's good to see Armin Budish here with us again tonight. It just shows again his dedication and commitment to the issue of our district and our state. Normally we have Larry Katz as our timekeeper, and if you will spend a moment in the next few days with your thoughts and prayers with Larry and his family. They're going through some medical issues. and he called me tonight, in spite of these difficulties, to apologize and say that he couldn't make it. In his stead tonight, as our timekeeper, is City Councilman Rob Zimmerman, former president of the club, and Rob will be taking care of the time issues. Tonight, we'll go through the ballot process and the endorsement process later on when we get to that stage. But again, the candidates will have 3 minutes to give an introduction of who they are, why they want this position. And they're going to be doing that at the podium because tonight we are videotaping this, if that's the right term these days. And it's going to be put on YouTube. So for those who couldn't make it, or for those who want to find out about our endorsement and these candidates, they will have the opportunity to do that. And we are going to broadcast that fact when the endorsement process is concluded and we send out our endorsement. This is the first time we're doing this, and I'd like to give a thanks to Doug Wang, who's agreed to do this. He's done it for other community groups in the Shaker area, and so if we could give him a round of applause, we'd This is an experiment for us, and we hope it goes well because I think this is part of our community commitment to share what we know about these candidates with the community as well. It's now time to focus on the second part of our agenda, and that is a very important measure. We're going to divide this up. We're going to deal with House Bill 194, some information about that, and Jane Buter Shapiro is going to do that. And then while we are tallying the ballots at the end of the meeting, Jane is going to come back up and further discuss that bill if it need be, and we're going to have the Treasury report, our City Ward Leaders report, and related financial information passed on to you while the ballots are being cast. But right now, Jane, would you step forward and explain to us what's going on with 194 and what we as a club and individual members need to do?
Thank you. Well, given that Armand is here, you can direct all your questions about this to him. But we know it as a nickname, which is the voter suppression bill. It is a bill that looks to turn back many of the reforms that were put in place by Secretary of State Jennifer Brunner. It looks to shorten the number of days of early voting, to shorten the access to early voting. You know, here in Cuyahoga County, we had something of a struggle around whether the county was allowed to mail out absentee ballot registration forms without having to be directly requested of them. In the past, we've just gotten those in the mail, and people may still be expecting them. That was eliminated. County Executive Fitzgerald had a little wrangling and was able to get that approved. But clearly what is going on here is a number of different ways to affect voter turnout. And for those of us who are Democrats, we may be easily able to identify this as affecting Democratic voter turnout. So I guess I'm having more time at the end. So I'll stop here, but I've got the petition, and Carl Hess has a petition, and is there anybody else in the room? Oh, Al Foster has a petition. We're happy. Okay, Bridget, and we're at the end, we'll all raise our hands, we'll let you come to us, sign our petitions. We need 231,000 plus signatures to make sure that this bill and its corresponding Senate bill that have already passed don't go into effect for the November 11 election, the primary, and the November 2012 elections. So it'll go on the ballot in November 2012, but if we get the signatures now, it will not take effect right away, and that's really, really important. So I'll collect signatures later. Thank you for your time. If you've already signed it, don't sign it again. But tell everybody you know who hasn't signed it to find someone who
before we move into the endorsement of the school board candidates, I did note Ellen Conley, a club member, is here. She is the president of the Good to see you, Ellen. Thank you very much for being here. And also earlier, I think he left to go to another club meeting, was Juvenile Court Judge Joe Russo, who I believe is up for re-election, and I think he had the opportunity to meet a number of you before he had to leave and the meeting started. Now, the agenda for the procedure again is each one of the candidates will be afforded the opportunity to give a 3-minute opening, followed by a 25-minute question and answer. To start things off, I'm going to ask the first question, and we're going to do it alphabetically. So Mr. Clausen is going to answer first, and the second, and the third. The next question will move to the second person alphabetically. He will answer next, and we'll go through. That would be Mr. Harris, and we'll go through. The third question, Mr. Robertson will answer it first, and we'll proceed that way. So everyone will have the opportunity of being first, middle, and last a number of times. At the conclusion of those 25 minutes, then each candidate will come to the podium, because that's where it's being taped, and give a 2-minute summary of their thoughts and views. Any questions at this point? Yes, sir.
No,
Yes, Al.
Mr. President, I want to also make notice that we have our former county commissioner, Peter Lawson Jones, one of our own.
Good to see you, Peter. How's the acting career going?
Marvelous, marvelous.
He couldn't pass it up. I think we're ready to start. We will start with Mr. Clausen, and if you will come to the podium. This mic